There's one spider whose name alone is enough to make people tear apart a garage, burn old boxes, and call an exterminator before they've even seen it. The brown recluse. Stories about this spider are everywhere. Melted flesh, limbs supposedly rotting off, a bite so dangerous you might not even feel it happen until it's too late. Here's what almost nobody knows. Researchers who've spent decades actually studying this spider say most of what you've heard is exaggerated and in a lot of cases, flat out wrong. This isn't a video telling you to never kill one like we usually do on this channel. This time, we're doing something different, separating what's actually true about the brown recluse from what's just fear, passed around so many times it started sounding like fact. Every year, doctors across the country diagnose thousands of mystery wounds as brown recluse bites. There's just one problem. Researchers who track this have found that in areas where the brown recluse doesn't even live, people are still being told that's what bit them. According to arachnologists who study this specifically, in regions outside the spider's actual range, the vast majority of these diagnoses turn out to be something else entirely: bacterial infections, other insect bites, even certain skin conditions, all mistaken for a spider that was never anywhere near the patient. Brown recluse bite has essentially become medical shorthand for "we don't know what this wound actually is." And that mislabeling is exactly how a real but limited spider became a nationwide monster. Here's the reveal, and it starts with a map most people have never seen. The brown recluse, scientifically named Loxosceles reclusa, only has an established, naturally occurring population in a specific region of the country, the south-central United States, including states like Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas, and stretching into parts of Tennessee, Kentucky, and Texas. Outside that range, genuine, verified brown recluse encounters are exceptionally rare. In places like the Pacific Coast, arachnologists studying reported cases have found that essentially all of them turn out to be misidentifications, not actual sightings of the spider. And yet, brown recluse gets blamed for mystery bites in nearly every state in the country, every year. So before we even get to how dangerous this spider actually is, the first myth to bust is the simplest one. Statistically, if you don't live in its established range, the brown recluse you're worried about almost certainly isn't one. The name itself gives this one away: recluse. Pest control specialists and researchers consistently describe this spider as reclusive and non-aggressive, actively avoiding contact with humans whenever possible. It doesn't hunt people. It doesn't chase. It doesn't defend territory the way people imagine. Most documented bites happen in one specific circumstance. The spider gets trapped against skin, most often inside a shoe, a glove, or bedding that hasn't been shaken out, and bites purely in self-defense because it has nowhere left to retreat. Even in homes with an established, sizable population living in the walls or storage areas, actual bites remain rare. This is a spider that wants distance from you far more than it wants a confrontation. This is the myth responsible for most of the fear, and it's also the most exaggerated. It's true that brown recluse venom can, in some cases, cause a wound to break down the surrounding tissue. This is a real, documented effect called necrosis. That part isn't fiction. But here's what actually gets left out of the scary version. The overwhelming majority of confirmed bites are mild. According to entomological research, for most people bitten, roughly 2/3 of the resulting wound heals without ever progressing to serious necrosis at all. And even in the more severe cases that do occur, there has never been a scientifically confirmed human death directly attributed to a brown recluse bite in the medical literature. Limbs do not fall off. The dramatic, viral photo version of a brown recluse bite represents a small minority of a bite that was already a small minority of household spider encounters to begin with. This is the myth that causes the most panic-driven misidentification And understanding it might be the single most useful thing in this video. Yes, brown recluses do have a violin or fiddle-shaped marking on their back, with the neck of the violin pointing toward the rear of the body. That part of the identification guide is accurate. The problem is that plenty of harmless, common household spiders have vaguely similar brown, patterned markings, and panicked homeowners frequently misidentify them. There's a more reliable identifying feature almost nobody checks: eye count. Most common spiders have 8 eyes, arranged in 2 rows. The brown recluse has only 6, arranged in 3 distinct pairs. It's a small detail, but it's far more diagnostic than a marking pattern that varies and can be mimicked by other species. Combine that with a light to medium brown, non-shiny body, thin legs without obvious spines, and a size roughly comparable to a quarter, including the leg span, and you have a much more reliable identification than "it looked kind of violin-shaped." Even inside its actual established range, recent research has pushed back hard on how dangerous day-to-day exposure really is. A study examining recluse spiders directly concluded that these spiders are, in the researchers' own words, scarce, reluctant to bite, and unlikely to account for most of the necrotic skin wounds commonly blamed on them. That's not a fringe opinion. That's a direct challenge from entomologists who study this exact species to the entire popular narrative surrounding it. Living in a state where brown recluses exist doesn't mean living under constant threat. It means living somewhere a genuinely shy, bite-reluctant spider happens to also live, mostly out of sight, mostly avoiding you entirely. Now, to be completely fair, this video isn't saying the brown recluse is harmless, and it's not saying never kill one the way we would for a wolf spider or a house centipede. The venom is real. Tissue damage in more severe cases is real. And if you live in or near its established range and find one somewhere you can safely deal with it, inside a shoe, in bedding, in a box you're about to reach into, reducing that specific risk is reasonable, not paranoid. If you're ever bitten and a bite is confirmed or strongly suspected, that's a legitimate reason to seek medical care, particularly to monitor the wound and rule out infection or a more serious reaction. This video isn't medical advice, and a real bite deserves a real evaluation, not a YouTube fact check. What this video is pushing back on isn't caution, it's the exaggerated, viral version of this spider that turns a rare, generally mild encounter into nationwide panic over spiders that, in most cases, were never brown recluses in the first place. The mistake isn't taking a real risk seriously. It's assuming every brown spider in every state is a ticking time bomb, when the science says the opposite. This is a shy, geographically limited, reluctant to bite species that's been turned into a national boogeyman by decades of misdiagnosis and viral photos. Real caution, based on where you actually live and what the spider actually looks like, is reasonable. Panic based on a name alone isn't. Somewhere in a quiet corner of a garage, in one of the handful of states where it actually lives, a small, light brown spider with 6 eyes and a violin-shaped mark is doing everything in its power to avoid being seen. It's not lurking, it's not hunting you. Its entire evolutionary strategy is built around staying hidden and never being found. The name Recluse wasn't a marketing accident. It's exactly what this spider is. Somewhere between harmless and monster is where the actual truth lives. A real, occasionally dangerous, but wildly overhyped animal, mislabeled more often than it's ever actually encountered. The question isn't whether the brown recluse deserves fear. The question is how much of that fear was ever really about this spider at all. If you've ever had a mystery bite blamed on a brown recluse in a state where they don't even live, you're not alone. And subscribe, because next time we're back to uncovering something else everyone's got completely wrong.